Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh,
yeah. Fancy seeing you. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever, however, and wherever you're watching. Thanks for being here. Got a great crowd today. Welcome to the Jason Show. Thank you for being here. Have a seat, everybody. Welcome. Look at this. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister and Carrie's Corn Dogs Employee of the Month, Kendall Mark.
Hey. Real corn in those corn dogs.
How you doing?
I'm doing very swell. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And I love that, once again, you know when I love when you match the set. Look at that. You match the set perfectly.
So
Look at that. You planned that perfectly. So a couple things to say this morning before we get going, and the first, I'll take just a few minutes, and the first one is kind of a goodbye. It's a personal goodbye here at Fox 9 at the studios that we're in, and that is one of our colleagues, Evan. Now, Evan, you know, I'm the most. There's Evan right there he is. Now, Evan's our floor director, but he's also a director. Steph, it's his last day. Don't attack him, okay? Here's the deal. Evan is one of our behind-the-scenes folks. He's a director, and for our show, for the Jason Show, he is the stage manager is what I call him. They call him a floor director technically here at the corporation, but he is a stage manager. And here's why, and I just want to take a moment. Please don't turn the dial. You don't want to watch The View anyway. They're just screaming at each other. So here's why Evan is going to be so sorely missed. And people come and go a lot in this business. It's like a Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, they just come and go.
In and out.
But here's why I am really bummed, and I'm really sad, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy that he's leaving, and he knows it, because like a lot of folks and a lot of companies, people here at Fox 9 do multiple jobs. You know, like for instance, I mop floors when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe me?
We vacuum.
I don't do that. But anyway, but we do, folks do multiple jobs here. And Evan's main job is to be the director, a director like Leo. Mm-hmm. But for our show, he's the floor director. He's the stage manager. And you're thinking to yourself, And there are folks that do the job, and I'm not throwing shade, but because it's not their main job, it's their second thing, and they don't take a lot of ownership out of it. Not Evan. Mm-hmm. Not Evan. Evan comes in here every day. And I'm going to try not to cry and I'm not looking at him. That's why I'm going to look at you here at home. Here's the deal. Evan comes in here every day, and I'm a pretty laid back guy. But I'm a Jeff. I am whatever. I'm a pretty laid back guy. But I always say to Evan, the devil's in the details. And whether it's a light out or messed up or a guest is just a little off sitting at the couch, Evan cares about everything, and it matters. You may not know watching, you may not subconsciously know it, but it matters. It all works to make this show what it is. And I've never met anybody in that position that cares as much as he does. So for that, our organization is going to suffer a big loss starting tomorrow when we no longer have him. So I'm just going to say, whoever gets him next, and it's actually still our company, but he's moving to bigger, better things. And to those people watching, you are damn lucky to have Evan. You're damn lucky to have that guy. Yeah. Yep.
Don't leave.
Not happy. Daddy's not happy. I'm just not. One more thing before we get going. You know, I say this, and unfortunately, I've had to say it too many damn times over 7 seasons, almost 8. But I'll say it again. You know, our show is built to be a respite for all of you. That's the reason we don't do politics. We don't do serious topics unless it's something that I feel connected to and I think will connect with you in a real personal way. But far too often, I've had to explain to you off the top of the show why we have to take an exit ramp from our frivolity and goofiness. And this is another one of those days. Before we get going with our normal format, I have to acknowledge, we have to acknowledge here on the show, the tragedy in Texas. I'm not going to go on because there are smarter people that have said smarter things about it. But I'm not a parent, but I am a human being. And so I didn't write down anything to say, so I'm just going to speak from my heart and say, I'm not going to offend the parents by saying thoughts and prayers and let's have a moment of silence, because clocking in at over 200 mass shootings this year, call me crazy, but moments of silence and thoughts and prayers don't seem to be working very well to solve this problem. The definition of insanity is repeating the same behavior and expecting the same results. And the behavior in this case is doing nothing. We do nothing and we expect this. We expect this problem to go away. We expect our children to be on the front lines of this. Parents shouldn't. I grew up in a time where the only drill I had to do in elementary school was a damn tornado drill. Now kids are doing active shooter drills. My mom could put me on the damn school bus and not worry that I would come back in a body bag or a mobile morgue the size of a school bus. That shouldn't be happening. Moms and dads shouldn't worry about sending their kids to school. It just shouldn't happen. But we say this. This is the cycle. This outrage from me and everybody else, this is where it starts. Then there's a social media debate. Then there's inaction by people that lead us. And then there's indifference. Then the media moves on to something else and we go back to life as normal. That's the circle. That's the circle that we keep repeating. Insanity. Repeating the same behavior and expecting the same results. So I'm not going to participate in the, let's have a moment of silence, because it's not working. What I can do right now for you watching is provide the next 53 minutes, a moment to forget about the world we're living in. I'm going to try to make you laugh. We have Hanson here, so that'll be accomplished. We have that accomplished. So sit back, relax, and let's start our show. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, everybody. Here we go. After 6 tear-filled seasons, we start with a sad story. Forgot about this. This Is Us wrapped up last night over there on NBC, and it was really emotional. According to the show's creator, 2/3 of the show's finale, isn't this cool, everybody? 2/3 was actually shot 4 years ago when the actors were kids. And he had loosely mapped out the other third in his head. He did that for a long time. The series was known for its surprise twists and turns, but by most accounts, the finale was relatively simple. Now, you guys know, if you watch this, I don't really watch the show a lot, but I love a good series finale. I did watch the last third, and I cried a little bit. I'm not going to give anything away, but there's a scene involving a hand squeeze that broke me. I just started weeping. You are a fan. I turned the stage to you. What did you think?
I thought that they did it perfectly. When Mandy Moore came out a few weeks ago and it said that so much of it had already been shot, and she said, I forgot that we'd even shot these things a few years ago because, like you said, the kids had to still be kids. They've just done such a nice job of weaving together different narratives in a not complicated, really sentimental way that everybody can pinpoint someone on that show and love them and see themselves in them. And I just think the fact that they wrapped it up really nicely with a simple day for the Pearson family one last time was just so perfect. I'm gonna miss the show. I love it. I thought they did a great job.
Good. I'm glad. For you as a fan, I like that they stuck the landing for you. Well, speaking of finales, it's the final week for Ellen. Someone who knows a thing or two about talk shows and talk shows ending is Oprah. Can you believe it's been 11 years since Oprah ended? But anyway, yesterday, the Big O gave the Big Ellen some advice. Look.
This is the truth. There will never, ever be a time like this. I just said this to your team. You know, everybody's like, oh, yeah, you're going to go on. But you will never, ever have a time like this where you were held in the public's eye and received the joy in such a way that all of you came together and made that happen. There will be other things, there will be other great things, but there will never be a time like this. Know that these are the glory days.
Yes.
I want you to take some time off, some real time, because you know what I did? I took a week off and then I went right back into work. Take some time, okay?
Yeah.
To figure out what the next, do you hear me?
I heard you.
Okay, good, okay. Take some time.
I mean, I'm going to buy some houses, but I just am going to do, you know.
Then I'll see you in the backyard.
I'll see you in the backyard.
See you in the backyard.
All right.
Because they are neighbors. Oprah, do you hear me? Kendall?
You hear me?
Do you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oprah's like, listen, I'm Oprah. You legally have to listen to me. I love, oh yeah. Ellen wraps up on Thursday and we'll have a wrap up of that. So look, she knows what she's doing. I mean, Oprah knows how to, and she's right. That really struck me when Oprah told the crew, because really that era, this era of big talk shows like Oprah and Ellen, they're over. I mean, they're not, and to have that many viewers watch one thing, that's kind of over. So when Oprah said that about because I'm sure all the producers at Harpo that did the Oprah Winfrey Show, they've gone on to do other things, but they'll never work for a show like Oprah. That really got to me. That's, be in the moment. We are in the moment. We're going to be back in a moment right after this. Back after this. The dish isn't done. Coming up next, it's a 1-2 punch from Tom Cruise. Top Gun is obviously opening this week. And
this is our chance to control the truth.
And at the same time, we're getting a look at Tom's next blockbuster, the next Mission Impossible. Then Hanson's back in the kitchen. Stephanie Hansen is here with some great recipes for rhubarb. And going into the audience to play a little game, and you know anything can happen when I talk to the audience. That and more when we come back. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. Hello. RuPaul was on with Jimmy Kimmel last night, and Ru does this thing called DragCon. It's like a convention for drag queens. So, I mean, of course, that conversation had to be today's, this afternoon's late night rewind. Look.
And I asked for a list because I'm curious, because I have some of the vendors or exhibitors at DragCon, and I wonder if you know what's going on there.
Okay, yeah, try me. Let's see.
There's something called Two Girls, One Closet. What is that? What is that? You don't know? Boy butter. What's boy butter? Is that a product?
Well, boy butter.
Is that what you rubbed on your Esquina?
Maybe a bagel or something. Boy butter.
Creepy gals.
Creepy gals,
Goobers only.
Uh-huh.
Man buns.
Man buns, sure.
BigLatinMen.com. That one I know.
Yeah.
That's why Guillermo's not here right now.
Oh, I
He's updating his profile. The Wrestling Guy Store.
The Wrestling Guy Store.
I like it.
Yeah.
Tuck It Up. What is Tuck It Up?
Oh, I know what Tuck It Up is. Yes, I do.
Is it what I think it is?
It's exactly what you think it is. Yeah.
And this is the best one, and this is not a joke.
Okay.
Integrated Tax Consultants, Inc.
Absolutely. Yes, that's RuPaul on Jimmy Kimmel. All of those, having in my off time working with drag queens, all of those are real. Believe me, all of those are real. Next in the dish, season 4 of David Letterman's talk show on Netflix is out. And I watched, Kendall watched one, I watched one, and the one that I did watch wasn't the big one that making headlines, Will Smith. We know I've talked about Will Smith so much, Anyway, I watched the one with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I love her. Yeah. Here's a little bit So many great anecdotes from that conversation. Here's a little bit, and we'll discuss on the other side.
Political Happiness Brigade. What was it called?
What the hell are you talking about?
The group in Chicago. What was it called?
Oh, Practical Theater Company?
Yeah, Practical Theater Company.
Political...
Happiness Brigade.
Political Happiness Brigade. I will be co-opting that.
Were you one of several women?
Then I was the only woman, yeah, at that time.
So now, why did that happen, and why did it keep happening?
I think that in the last, I'm going to say maybe in the last, what do you think, 20 years? I think the roles for women specifically in comedy and on television have widened.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not enough of a scholar to guess as to why, although I do think that Tina Fey and Poehler and Maya and Kristen, I think that they were very, very powerful as people on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that had I don't know if you'd say a trickle effect, but it's had an impact.
It has had an impact, absolutely. Because, you know, if you just look at SNL, and again, you know, I forgot about this, I was alive at the time, Julia was in the cast of SNL. And for 3 years. I thought it was only 1 year. I always think of it, she was there for 3 years. Anyway, when you think of SNL and women, it took to the late 90s, early 2000s for the Tina Fey era for that to happen, because in the early days, it was beyond misogynistic. John Belushi literally told Jane Curtin, women aren't funny. You know, John Belushi, yeah. I'm not saying you guys aren't funny. I'm just saying, but yeah. But he did, and it was not a great incubator for female comics, for female comedians. Julia said it wasn't a great environment for her during the 3 years. She also talked about Seinfeld, obviously, but where where her heart, you could tell she was really into it when she mentioned Veep over there on HBO. She admitted that she missed it, and she said, I think that's the project closest to her heart. And for me, it's my favorite out of, you know, Seinfeld, or The New Adventures of Old Christine, and then Veep. Veep is my favorite Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Now, you watched a different Letterman. Which episode did you watch?
I watched the Ryan Reynolds one. They went to his home, too. It was really, really good. You learn more about Ryan's past, how he got into Hollywood, his relationship with his father, which was interesting, especially as he's become a father. And then my girl Blake showed up at the very end, and literally all she did was go, hi.
And walked away.
But it was the best thing. It was because Letterman called her out when they were wrapping the interview. He's like, bye, Blake. And you see her kind of go.
Because they did the interview at her house.
At their house. Yeah, they're married. If you didn't know that, they have a couple kids together. But
which is one of the things I love about the Letterman show. It's not in front of an audience anymore, you know. And Letterman's done that. They go to these, like for Julia, they were on Julia's property in Santa Barbara, and when they got done with the interview, Julia and Dave are friends. Julia goes, "Get the hell off my property now. Get out of here." It was great. It's really cute.
Go away.
You can watch Letterman show on Netflix. Next in the dish, Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman. I know. Believe me. Wait till you see this. Natalie and Chris are back in the upcoming Marvel movie Thor: Love and Thunder. And also, another A-lister is making an appearance. Christian Bale is the bad guy called Gore the God Butcher. Now, and just look at him. I mean, it's very frightening. Look at this.
The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like? 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take.
Am I sensing feelings?
Well, you're right.
The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
So this is my vow.
All gods will die.
Like that. He looks like the world's scariest mime. You know what I mean? It just
ooh, that's a
doesn't
good
he?
one. Yeah.
Just very frightening. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I like Christian Bale, but that's frightening.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be good though, because this is like the comedic undertones of Thor is what makes him one of my favorites. And Chris does comedy really well. And as the kids say, did you see him? He is jacked. That's what the kids say. He is even more. That's what the kids say in the gym.
Wait for it. Wait. Oh,
What?
we're
No.
not going to show the naked scene?
No. By the way,
There's a naked scene. We're just going to skip through that?
speaking of the gym, I was at the, I'm sorry.
The ladies want the naked scene, Ted.
Blame director Leo. I don't control when Leo shuts off the video.
Let me tell you, go and watch
No,
it.
it does. No, they can Google it on the machine. Just go Google Chris Hemsworth shirtless. It's easy.
10 out of 10.
I can show you how to do that in the break. No. But no, anyway, Thor Love and, what was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say. Thor Love and Thunder hits theaters in July. This is what I was going to say. Next on the dish, we're getting our first look at the new Mission Impossible movie. It's called Dead Reckoning Part 1. Oh, goody. They're splitting another movie into 2 parts. Now, if you've lost track, and why wouldn't you? Because the first one came out in 1996. Kendall was watching DuckTales when that first one came out. This is the 7th film in the Mission franchise. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
Your days of fighting for the so-called greater good are over. This is our chance to control the truth, the concepts of right and wrong for everyone for centuries to come. You're fighting to save an ideal that doesn't exist. Never did. You need to pick a side.
Ooh, Tom is mad. He's very mad. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 hits theaters next year. I love when they promote a movie like a year out. Yeah. Well, it was look, Top Gun was supposed to come out like 2 years ago. This was supposed to come out last year. Both of these movies, you know, were supposed to come out during the pandemic.
Tom Cruise was very busy in 2018.
He was. Look how good he looks. Again, I'm going to say it, if you missed the last couple days of our show, go see Top Gun this weekend. Grab everybody that you know and go see Top Gun. I can't stop talking about it. Everybody that I see, I tell, go see Top Gun. Go see it in a movie theater. Don't you dare wait for it on streaming, because it's not going to be great on your little TV. Go to a movie. And if you're worried, get a little bubble suit. Do anything you can to keep yourself safe. But
a fishbowl.
A little fishbowl. Keep yourself safe. It's time to meet. I would die laughing if I saw you in a theater in a fishbowl. But anyway. Time to meet this week's JVIP. Today, it's Linda Olcott. Hi, Linda. When asked what she likes about our show, Linda says, what's not to love? Jason and Kendall keep it real and entertaining. Every show brings sunshine to her day. Thank you, Linda. Linda's going to get a Jason Show mug. She's also entered to win the monthly grand prize. That includes coming to our studio to watch the show, $150 accessories gift card to Becker Furniture World, and a $200 gift card from Wood House Spa. And listen to this programming note. We're going to meet our next grand prize winner in studio on Friday. They'll be sitting in a special little chair. I don't know if it's like a massage chair or whatever. And Erin's going to fan them during the broadcast. It's going to be fantastic.
Big fan.
And she's not listening, so she didn't hear that. So I'll keep saying, Erin's also going to buy them dinner. Oh, now she's listening. That's right. Yeah, I was talking about you. It's all right. Erin's designing the chair. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us, folks.
Almost near death.
Oh, welcome back. Nothing says spring like rhubarb. Did you write that? That's right, yeah. The versatile vegetable is popping up everywhere right now, from backyards to farmers markets. Here to share some of her ideas for using this versatile vegetable is Stephanie Hansen, everybody, from Stephanie'sDish.com.
I love a versatile vegetable.
Yeah, don't we all?
Is it a vegetable or is it a fruit?
I don't know. It's in the if it's in the teleprompter, it must be true.
It's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. And also, we'll begin with this. Backstage, executive producer Jeff, he prompts me and preps me, and he goes, talk about how a lot of people grow their own rhubarb. Is that true?
Oh yes. Yes, you're a city kid. Yeah, absolutely.
I am a city kid.
I have 3 actual rhubarb plants. And they're great because you can put them in the ugliest portion of your yard. They will hide the gas meter because they just grow anywhere and they're not super particular. And then you can make food out of them, which is excellent.
Okay.
And to be honest, I had to buy these at Lunds and Byerly's. Mine weren't ready. They're still a little small because the weather's been so cold. But rhubarb season
is right now. Is this right now?
It's getting to be right now. Normally it would be right now. The way my plants look, I'm thinking it's about 2 weeks from now.
Okay. So what are we making here?
So I make lots of things with rhubarb. The first thing that you see on Instagram when you hear rhubarb is you see all these beautiful cakes and they all have rhubarb strung through them.
Okay.
And Stephanie, my radio partner, and we always scoff because rhubarb is tough. So if you have rhubarb, big stalks of it laying in your cake, you better know that it's tender, otherwise you're eating like a fibrous situation. So what we like to tell people,
and who wants to eat a fibrous situation? This audience does not want a fibrous situation.
No, they don't. So this is a very simple honey rhubarb cake. So I took the rhubarb and I cut it into thirds, each stalk, so that it's about 1/4 of an inch, so that when it cooks down, it releases its juice, so you can see how it's kind of glossy on the top. And it's going to be just a delicious, simple, breakfast cake, coffee cake.
Because let me represent a little portion of the audience. I am a guy that I do not enjoy rhubarb. I do not.
People have
the
real
audience
feelings
has turned
about
on
it.
me now. Yes.
Alone, you can eat it alone. It's super tart. You can dip it in sugar. A lot of us did that as kids. Here's a tip, too.
This is a rhubarb-loving audience today.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
The Midwest and Minnesota in particular, they're crazy about their rhubarb. So when you're going to pick your rhubarb from your plant, you pull it from the bottom. You just pull that stalk. You don't need to cut it. You don't need a knife. You just get in there and pull it. And then it has a little
little violent there, Hanson.
Yeah, well, you gotta be rough. You gotta get it out of there. Now, when you're harvesting your rhubarb, always leave 1/3 of your plant. So you can take 2/3, but you gotta leave 1/3 to grow and give more energy to the next year.
Okay, what are these?
Okay, everyone's grandma made a rhubarb custard pie in the Midwest, right? It is the most delicious pie. All you do is put eggs and rhubarb and sugar into a pie pan in a pie crust, and it turns out and it makes this delicious pie. This is a rhubarb custard bar. And you don't need to make any pastry. You take the flour and the butter and the powdered sugar and you get it all so it's like pea size, right? And then you push it down in your pan with your hands. And then you put your rhubarb and an egg, syrupy, sugary sauce kind of over the top, and then you bake it for 45 minutes. And it makes this delicious custard inside.
Keep talking.
Okay. And the crust here is like a shortbread cookie. It's super delicious, really buttery, and then you get that unctuous custard part on the top with the tart rhubarb. Rhubarb custard bars, and I'm gonna say it like my mom did, rhubarb custard bars. If you make rhubarb custard bars when you go to the potluck, you'll be everyone's best friend. I'm not, and you don't have to like it. I appreciated that you tried it.
No, I'll tell you the truth.
Yes.
I'll say right away if I don't like something that you make.
You're very polite, though.
I'll be very polite.
You're always good.
It's easy to be polite right now because these are phenomenal.
Yeah, they're
these
really
are
easy. And they're very easy. So if you're doing a Memorial Day thing at the lake and rhubarb is great. And these little cakes are easy to make too. Also, on my website, I make a lot of syrups and shrubs, okay? So what you do is you mix the rhubarb, you cut it with sugar, you put it in a pan, you heat it, you wait till it gets kind of jammy in there, and then you pour it through a strainer and you push the solids down so that the juice comes out, and you're left with sort of what we call rough jam. You use that rough jam to top ice cream, yogurt. You can stir it into muffin batter so that you can have a delicious rhubarb muffin, cakes. So that rough jam is like the fibrous part is also as delicious as the syrup that makes a fantastic gin and tonic. You can then add white vinegar and make a shrub. So it's all good.
Rough jam. I think that's my favorite thing that I love that term, rough
jam. And I was gonna make it here today, but I literally did not have enough rhubarb because mine wasn't ready, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
We are talking rhubarb.
We are, yeah, that's what the segment is, yeah.
I have one thing I need to tell you about though.
You're scaring me, are you?
No, it's the best thing ever, okay?
Okay.
This is an extra bonus for you people.
You're doing a best thing ever?
Yes.
I love it, okay.
Okay, I went to a place, it was a brewery, and I had a class from this guy at Sip and Bloom, it's called, Sip and Bloom. And we sat down and he told us about how to make flowers, how to make flower arrangements. He had these big buckets of flowers. He taught us like what goes good together, what colors, what patterns. And he apparently does these classes all over the Twin Cities at breweries and distilleries. It's Sip and Bloom. It was like the best 25 minutes I have spent. I got a cocktail, I made a flower arrangement. I was so happy.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was super fun.
You made this?
I did make this, and if you get close, it's like on day 7. But one of the things he taught us, you guys, I know. Jason was like, it looks like it's a little dead.
I know.
Okay.
Steph goes, we gotta go, but Steph goes, okay, I'm gonna do this as the best thing ever. And I look at it and I whisper to her right before he came back and go, it looks a little dead. It looks a little dead.
No, but you guys, it was so fun. He taught us how to like open roses like they do in weddings. I mean, it was just the best thing.
What's it called again before we go?
Sip and Bloom.
Sip and Bloom. Give it up for Hanson, everybody, for this recipe and all of Stephanie's great food ideas. Head to, right there, stephaniesdish.com. We'll be back in a moment. Yeah, yes, please. Yes, please. Welcome back. Woo! Still eating those bars. Don't tell the trainer. Right? The poor audience, I feel bad. We give them prizes like right now, but they really want those bars. So, I mean, and Kendall's over there eating one right now. They're really good. Anyway, welcome back. If you're my age or older, you probably remember this. 36 years ago today, 7 million Americans joined hands, for the first ever Hands Across America, raising money for the hungry and homeless. The event became a plot point in the horror movie Us from 2019. Across the country, you won't believe some of the crazy laws still in effect today. So it's time to put our audience to the test with state law, real or fake. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you a possible law, and you have to decide if it's real or the research team made it up, okay? So let's find our first player. Where's Colton at? Where's Colton? Come on down. Give it up for Colton, everybody. Stand right here. Okay, here we go, Colton. Colton, is it illegal to drive blindfolded in Alabama?
I would hope so, yes.
Colton's right, everybody. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Colton, it's very, very, very common sense. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, where's Erica? Oh, right there. Hi, Erica.
Hi.
Okay, Erica, we're going to go to North Carolina now, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Erica, in North Carolina, it's illegal to be drunk while playing bingo. True or false?
I hope not. True.
It is true.
Oh my gosh. I might have got a ticket.
I was going to say, you and I would have been in jail. I mean, thank you. Thank you, okay? I'm thinking of the ramifications of that. That is horrible. That's the whole point. That's why you go to bingo. Anyway, where's Bonnie? Bonnie, give it up for Bonnie, everybody, okay? Come right here, Bonnie. Let me switch my hands here. Bonnie, we're going to go... Bonnie, we're going to go to North Dakota. It's illegal to be naked in a swimming pool in North Dakota. True or false?
I hope so, especially a public pool. True.
You can be naked. It's false.
You can be.
You can be naked. That's right. I know. Okay. I'm just thinking about the ramifications of that now, too. Okay. Where's Sherry? Sherry? Hi, Sherry. Give it up for Sherry, everybody. Sherry. Sherry is very well dressed today. I'm loving the scarf. I love everything about it. Okay. Oh, this one hits close to home for me. You ready, Sherry?
I am.
Biscuits sold in restaurants in Tennessee can only be made with butter, not lard.
That's a definite. Yes.
It's false. But it should be the law.
It should be.
It should be the law. You do not make biscuits. No, you can.
I don't even have Crisco hardly in my.
No, I don't have.
Yeah.
I only use Crisco for tanning oil, but that's it. Thank you. That's it. But no, do not make biscuits. It's much better with butter. Oh, thank you. Look how nice you are. Okay, we have one more person, and it's you, isn't it? Come on, it's Kara. Come right down here, sweetie. Come right down here with me. There we go. Okay, last one. We're going to New England. We're going to Vermont. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. In Vermont, women are required to get permission from husbands to get false teeth.
I think it's true.
It is true. It is true. But it is not enforced. I love that caveat. Give it up for all of our contestants. They all are taking home the coveted Jason Show mug. And that's right. And they're all entered into a monthly drawing where one of them will take home our boss's car. It's great. Yes. We'll be right back, everyone. Back in a moment. There's yours. Aaron will be around with the rest. The mug keeper. Welcome back. Well. Welcome back. You may have heard of the growing popularity of Korean dramas, or as the kids call them, K-dramas, thanks to shows like Squid Game. Well, a local playwright is hoping to grow the drama right here in the Twin Cities. Please welcome Mei Li Yang, everybody. Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay. Let me just ask a foundational question, because I watch Squid Game. I am a fan of a lot of the K-dramas. What do you think it is, if you can just bring it down to the mortar and why is it popping now, and what is it about the K-dramas that has really hit the zeitgeist?
Well, I think K-dramas are popular because they allow us to feel, right? When people talk about having the feels, K-dramas are all about making sure people get angry, they fall in love, they laugh, and I feel like a lot of the other stuff that we in the world is very, wants to look serious, and so they don't embrace that, and K-dramas help us to feel.
What do you think is, and I have a piggyback question on that. Do you think, and I don't mean to have you speak for the entire Korean drama fandom, but what do you think as a fan is the biggest difference between American dramas and K-dramas? Is there a big difference?
I think there is.
Tonally?
Yes, you mentioned Squid Games, right?
Yeah.
But I actually think that is an outlier. K-dramas at its core, I think, are really about their love stories. And I think that's a huge thing, because in American television, we don't like that stuff. We might have love stories, but they're couched under something much more serious. And K-dramas don't care.
They don't.
No, they promote love. And I'm cool with that. And I think, thinking about shows like Bridgerton, which is now airing on Netflix, right? And some people don't realize they're actually based on romance novels.
Well, and I'm sure now. See, I love that. I learned something. So the fandom, the true fans, probably when Squid Game exploded was like, okay, guys, this isn't. There's much more. Am I right on that?
Yeah. So Squid Games, for me, I think of it as more of it's like a Korean movie that has been translated into, an episodic show.
Yeah.
Right.
And tell the folks you're doing a class at the U.
Yes.
I love this.
I know. So I teach creative writing at the University of Minnesota, and I was given an opportunity to teach a special topics class. So I thought, can we do a writing K-drama class? And it got approved. And I'm super excited about when I was an undergrad, I took a class in science fiction writing, right? Which I was like, ooh, can we talk about this in academia? But I think these special topics allow us to delve a little bit more deeply into creative writing and also have fun.
And you did, okay, and also, Not that you're not busy enough, you'll underachiever, but you did a TED Talk as well.
Yes.
Okay, here it is right here. Walk me out. I love a TED Talk.
Yeah.
I just have another foundational question. How long did you work on your TED Talk?
I don't know, like.
It probably came easy to you because you're a teacher. So
yeah. So I think maybe I would say a month, but I mean that's not me. I'm not like rehearsing it all the time.
And what was the topic? Tell the folks on this.
Yeah. So I think the title was "It's Okay Not to Be the Center of the Universe," right? Because I feel like as people of color or whatever marginalized identities you might hold, Minnesotans, I think that's a marginalized identity, right? I feel like we don't get our stories centered. So my piece was really about. How do you tell more authentic stories by centering whoever the speaker is?
Do you see that we're at a turning point with more diverse storytelling?
Of course.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, of course.
Is it, what do you think foundationally, is it the rise in the fact that artists and filmmakers and television producers, they don't need to go to a network or a film studio to get released.
Exactly.
They can release their own material. Is that part of the recipe?
I think that's a part of it,
go right to the consumer.
Exactly, right. So I think that, first of all, technology is much more accessible. There are more people of color who are in positions of power.
Yeah.
And then,
absolutely, yeah.
And I think the world just wants to hear different stories. And I think, again, K-dramas, even though I'm a Midwesterner from the United States, K-dramas have really challenged the way I think. They have challenged me to think more imaginatively about my writing.
And you want to actually, I'm reading here, you want to establish an Asian American Center for Media and the Arts.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to do it. You're not. It's not going to want. You're going to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you.
Yeah.
What do you hope to? I mean, other than the obvious, what do you really hope to accomplish with that?
I mean, so that is in collaboration with another group I'm a part of, Funny Asian Women Collective, FOC.
Yeah.
You have to say the ah.
Yeah. Believe me, FCC, we said it correctly. Yeah.
So, I mean, we really want a space, a performing arts space and a soundstage so that we can tell more Asian American stories. The crazy thing is that nationally, we don't even have this. Minnesota doesn't even have the largest Asian American population, right? In Hollywood, in the East Coast, this doesn't exist. And it tells you how invisible we are. Like the United States loves stories from like Korea, Japan, China. They don't care about us so much.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't care about Asian Americans.
There's no center. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's not a center for media.
Yeah.
So you're going to do it. I mean,
we are.
I got rid of the if. You're going to do it.
Yes.
Well, please come back when you do it. Would you come back? And
I totally will do
give
that.
it up for me, everybody. For more information, head to her website, which I love. I love the name of this. LazyMungWoman.com. Yes. She said it, not me. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, that was great. I got up a little too soon. Here we go. And we're back, see? Evan's already gone. Evan's already gone. It's time for the world's shortest segments. College graduation season is underway, and this week Adam Sandler spoke to graduates of NYU School of the Arts. Look.
Yes, 34 years ago, I was sitting out there just like you youngsters, with the same exact thoughts that are spinning through your well-educated heads at this very moment. Is school really over? What the hell do I do with my life now? I've never been this hungover before. If I throw up in my cap, will anybody notice?
Adam is a graduate of the school. You can see his whole speech on his Instagram page. What's in the surprise goodbye? You'll find out when we find out next. It's the whole thing is really funny. It is time for the surprise goodbye. You know how this works. I don't know what's in this segment until right now. Today, a video you have to see. Whatever you're doing, come back to the TV. A raccoon finds itself in a tricky situation in California. The animal chewed through the roof. The animal chewed through the roof of a home and got stuck. Animal control told the homeowner to push the raccoon back through the roof to get rid of it. And they did, and the raccoon ran back into the wild. That is my favorite shot of the week. That is hysterical. Tomorrow, I'm chatting live with Niecy Nash, plus the Cooking Mom is back. But right now, if you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. And goodbye to Evan. We love you. We'll miss you. Bye, everybody.